Peace, peace. It's kind of gonna let the voice be more of peace to all, first and foremost, and give an honor to the all, to source, to creator. Man, gotta deliver a message. Just gonna be free flowing, but it's just been some moments, certain things you can share with others. Then there's other messages that you share with the collective or humanity. These man, there's let me tell y'all, man. I don't even kind of know where to start, but this has been very um challenge for us all in every way, shape, or form. Everyone has been affected by something, whether that be a loss, some type of trauma that we're healing from. The truth of the matter is, no one really has it all together. And the saying goes like, there's there's always something, there's never nothing. Because even in the nothing, there's always something. this this is why this experience is so much of a journey. Because just when I feel like I know something, knowing isn't just going to be enough. Just the glimpses of how, when you see the weather, when you see the natural disasters, when you see the importance of mental health awareness. There's just certain things that have been revealing on my path to be grateful of. For one, it's just me running into someone tonight who, and this is just so many people. It's just, you got so many people that do not even want to be bothered because of they're trying to process either a loss of a loved one, childhood wounds, um, betrayals, trying to trust again, trying to learn how to love again and be open to love, let alone, and I know a lot of you will relate to this, is that it's so much easy said than done, but the truth, what is really reality, especially when we're unlearning, relearning how to be, what to be, and to become. So I always reference to breathing. I always tell people, what's the first thing that you do when you come in this world? It's the last thing that you're going to do. And I cannot say this enough, is that give people their flowers now, man. And not everyone's not going to have a heart like you. For those on your spiritual journey, ascension journey, you got to realize that some of you are naturally at a higher frequency, meaning in your heart space. Your heart may be open more than others, but you have to be very mindful that a lot of what we have endured and experienced is so that we can easily get hurt as beings of spirituality or holistic teachers and leaders, and those who are more in tune, being that we learn so much from our experience and naturally are at this higher place, being that we know we didn't come from places that are familiar to humanity. Um, some of you know what I'm referencing to, and knowing that when eventually you get to a place where you realize how much you have agreed to be here to help humanity or help, or more so help yourself, and then in that helping and taking care of yourself, you will be one to be a guiding light. Even those who don't reference and having to come out of that religious belief and being so attached to the mundane, and now you will be seen or can be seen or viewed as demonic or um, cast away or outcast or even be um, you know, thrown to the wayside. The beauty of it all is that your enemies eventually will become your footstool. And there's an African proverb that states that there's no enemy within, there's no enemy without. And as I was upon my journey today walking, I got a lot of clarity on that, basically saying that um, I have no enemies, because whoever is the enemy of mine is the enemy of themselves. So, again, I would reference to saying that a peace of mind is going to be so vital as we come into this new age, and you're going to see why a lot of certain people had to do the inner work. How I always tell myself that um, I'm not one to throw the stone and hide my hand, because I've seen so many throw the stone and try to hide, not knowing that source, the creator, sees all. And just so much that has happened. It's like, let me tell y'all, man, the fucking healing journey is so vital. The ascension is so vital. You will have those that will be very feel a ways or upset or have whatever it is, just by you simply choosing yourself, just by you simply choosing love, just by you simply getting your goodbyes ready. Because at this moment it is going to be goodbye. Never to probably ever see some people again. But also there are some, um, do not be so easy to write certain people off, because in reality, um, in essence, your past needs you just as much as your future. But at the same moment, the present is everything. For a lot of us, the, the the tables have turned in our favor, but the favor has always been upon you. You had to go through a lot of things to really see why it is for you to be secure within. And it's so wild out here in this world, because with all that's happening, you're seeing this cold weather, depending on where you are, reminds me so much of the coldness of how some people are becoming so cold hearted, or their heart will wax cold, and it's nothing that you can do about it. By simply being yourself, can you weather the storm? Can you still be the rainbow in the midst of other people's storm? Doesn't mean you have to throw yourself by the wayside or allow others to try to barge in and disrespect or try to break down your barriers or the boundaries that you set. A lot of us have went through certain things now to stand in our power and to be secure within, and know that that power that we reconnected with is beyond the physical. I've observed and saw how despicable and disgusting humans and people can be. Just hearing the stories. When you think you're going through something, sit down with that person. Sit down with these people and really see and feel and listen to their story. I had certain things that happened recently right before this um, spring new year, or we're now spring forward, but just so many things that have happened. Sometimes I used to question, like, does love exist? And the truth of the matter is that the heart is so, just everything is so important right now. For a lot of you, there's a lot of heart activations and a lot of heart clearing. And I was expressing to someone today, I'm like, I'm not even mad at people for what has happened in the past. You know how much strength and clarity and war I was waging against myself and others who was waging war on me that I had no idea of, and that my ancestors and spirit guides and the higher ups were protecting me from. And now that I found peace within, what is really there to try to, I tell myself, and I know a lot of you can relate, like, what is there to really obtain? You know, I feel like the goal for me, one of many, was just simply be at peace in a world. And I feel like, I don't know this quote, Nipsey heard this quote, but I know the quote said, would you rather be at war with the, would you rather be yeah, at peace with the, yeah, would you rather be at peace with yourself and at war with the world, or try to make peace with the world and at war with yourself? So that's how I learn how just simply me being at peace, simply me just going with the flow, simply me just doing what comes easy, what I love to do, creating art, a lot of which we have experienced, and clearing so much karma from past lives into now, and just so many things, clearing karma, clearing karmic debts from past to present, breaking generational hexes and curses, to so many things that a lot won't understand because it was never meant for them to understand and overstand and comprehend. Some won't even get it. They're not supposed to. But I, like, the warning has been sent. But when I tell you the peace and you rising to another level is so vital, you're going to be able to see how many people are at war with themselves and going through their own spiritual warfare, and why a lot of rejection was for protection. A lot of distance had to happen for you to learn more about who you are, your purpose and your mission. And only now for you, some of us, to get prepared to, for those who do recycle or return, they're never not the same. No one is the same where you left them. But in reality, some people are still, um, they may return with gifts, they may return, and you still have to have and learn the spirit of discernment. That is a gift. And realize that moving forward will be the best for a lot of us. It's still not to say you don't have to interact with people, but it's your choice to close that door, and close that door for good, and leave it where it's at the detriment for your peace, for the sake of your sanity and your well-being. Um, because there's so many things that's happening. Everyone is going through something. Everyone is experiencing a storm, or will. Everyone is playing their role. This shit is wild because you'll see people out here just so caught up in what the fuck they want to look like and don't know who they are. Never know who they are. They don't care to heal. So they'll put on the front in social media. They'll try to be a part of the latest trend. These are the people you have to be careful of because they try and they're not even in tune. And eventually, which everything comes to the light, it'll be exposed for what it is, and you'll see why certain people had to go, why certain things had to. It's just like you being a tree. Why people had to leave the leaves on the trees. They had to leave, literally leaves, allowing them to fall away, allowing them to, um, you know, do, the wind blows them and release them. But in reality, everyone is like a tree, but not every tree bears good fruit. You are the tree. That's why they call it the family tree. I like to say tribe or clan, but you are, there is nothing greater than you. It is not your fault. You are not your mother's and father's action. But I will say, the Spirit will say that you inherited the karma that was passed through the wombs of the mothers that came before you. Therefore, no one is exempt from karma. No one is exempt from facing the imbalance that has been created prior to your incarnation. No one is exempt from facing the fears that was passed through the wombs of our mothers and then passed down to the patriarchal, your father and mother. And this is more on to depth on why some who do have kids and some who can relate and still carry a motherly spirit, you meet just like your mom and father met karmically. You have to realize how much shit we are cleansing here. A lot of you are, I don't care for the title. Some people say they're high priests. Some people say they're healers and all this other shit. Okay, the healer also had to be the wounded one first. You gotta, as a healer, you gotta know your darkness so you know what you're interacting and be able to see these spirits and be able to see which are malevolent and benevolent and realize how the balance and being neutral in all of this. Because everyone wants to proclaim themselves to be something. But who are you? I was expressing to someone like how deep it is even for people who have had relations with other people, not knowing their connections prior to other people and spiritually what these people have attached to them. And a lot of us have to and have been to ourselves because to even consciously see what the tribe and family and mothers and so forth, not realizing you're healing, man, this shit is so fucking deep. Y'all could not tell you the blockages. Many won't understand. You clearing your auric field, your chakras, and releasing blockage from dealing with the root chakra. Some people won't even raise higher than the root chakra because they only mainly are focused on sex. And a lot of these energies are cleansing and we're raising higher and higher. Balance is being restored. The tail is becoming a head, and that's in reference to how we were at a lower state. And now it's rising up from the root to now clearing the heart, not to mention the sacral and Other chakras, that's much more, but just the main ones were clearing where the womb itself is the root chakra, where a lot of blockages, a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, a lot of things have happened in the wombs and the root chakras of not only our mothers, but the little kids, the wickedness and unrighteousness that has been going on are now coming up, being purged like that from the root of a tree. And therefore, you're seeing the rotten fruit in the world. And a lot of which people don't realize is that, of course, people from a lower state who are unaware, and you see why these principalities or a lot of things have wanting to prevent and keep people in bondage mentally, physically, spiritually, to getting to a higher state. That's what the Aquarian age is about. More spiritually in tune to where we are reclaiming our essence, restoring balance within ourselves. Even certain things, and I'll reference myself or experience, when I was younger, being hit by a car, my hips were imbalanced. I've had to stretch. I've had to learn to balance myself. A lot of things people don't even realize they can create blockages. So this is why, again, going back to where generationally a lot of people had to connect, certain things have to happen. When you're connecting with someone, you co-create with someone, that whatever that lineage has faced, whatever they have experienced, you co-create with whomever that is, those generational things come, whatever comes with that family, and also yours, you're also clearing. You're clearing that. We all are. So just imagine the women who have had children out of painful experiences, mothers that have untold stories, people who have experienced so many things, how many things have followed their generations, how many things that were placed on their lineages to keep them bound, to keep them in a state of lack, in a mindset of poverty. And now all has been reversed. Energy counters. So you're unlearning, relearning, having to do and what you learned from your past lives. Seeing who were enemies, seeing who were people who portrayed themselves as one thing, but deep down they were something else. So this is the beauty of how even when you plant a seed in the world, you're talking about karmic debt that has happened upon this land in the Americas, what they call the Americas. You're talking about things that have been hidden that are now coming up and rising. And what isn't willing to evolve will no longer, everything, a lot of things have already served their purpose. So a lot of you are realizing who you are, what you're connected to, and why it is you've had to experience and had to go through what you go through. Why the resistance had to happen. Why you're learning what's connected to you and what's protecting you beyond what we see in the physical. So just know that a lot of you are sacred. You are very vital. Everyone plays a position in this. But I'm telling you, this is a moment to celebrate. We won. Are you forgetting? Are y'all not forgetting that evil never wins? The righteous shall prevail. The tail is becoming the head. All that you thought was first is now becoming last. Now the last is becoming first. Give gratitude for those of you that this lifetime that are choosing peace, that are choosing love. The love, the frequency of love through the heart shall protect you forever and ever. As above, so below. As within, so without. Peace not only be bestowed upon you, but in you. Shalom.